What is up, YouTube? This is Shaw Boys 2324, aka Henry Scarborough Jr., and this is a video. This is another DVD review, wrestling DVD review on Living on Razor's Edge, the Scott Hall story, 3-disc set. Let's take a look. Right here. And then it says, say hello to the bad guy. For the first time ever, WWE Home Video sits down with Scott Hall as he takes the WWE Universe on a very personal journey through his entire sports entertainment career, from his meteoric rise in WWE as Razor Ramon, to being one of the founding members of the notorious group known as the NWO, to overcoming personal demons to become the man he is today. And we'll get into that later on. This story of redemption shows that it ain't how many times you go down, it's how many times you get up. You have right here Scott, Razor Ramon and Diesel, Kevin Nash, Razor Ramon and 1-2-3 Kid, X-Pac, Razor Ramon. You have Razor Ramon holding both Intercontinental Championships belts, and over here you have Razor Ramon holding Bret Hart. Featuring matches with Shawn Michaels, Diesel, 1-2-3 Kid, Bret the Hitman Hart, Rick the Model Martel, Sting, Lex Luger, Chris Jericho, Goldberg, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and more. Alright, let's open it up. On the inside, we got Scott Hall and Rick Martel. I'm sorry, I'm Razor Ramon, but his real name is Scott Hall. So, yeah, Razor Ramon with putting an abdominal stretch on Bret the Hitman Hart. Alright. You got Scott Hall in his AWA days. Right behind disc 1, you see Razor Ramon giving Shawn Michaels the outsider's edge or the razor's edge. Behind disc number 2, you have Scott Hall giving I think that's either Stevie Ray or Booker T a bulldog off the top rope. Then you got Scott Hall right here, again punching Stone Cold Steve Austin right there. All right, let's get into disc 1. I enjoyed, and this is a very enjoyable disc, but also very, very sad. And as you can see, it says a life-changing event. Then you got these are just like chapters. Back in Orlando, a storybook life, moving to Florida, second degree, getting his start in AWA experience. He was very seen as, Scott Hall was always seen as he was always seen as a one day becoming like a world champion, but he never really got the opportunity. I don't think he never won the world title from the company. It ain't New York City. Razor is born. Basically, talks about how the character mimics Scarface. That was the inspiration for the character. Another level, he weighs Intercontinental Championship at the time. He was one of the best in that era. Humbled superstar, a new situation. This talks about him going to WCW for more money, making things bigger, the NWO got so big, and then it's falling apart, and like it's so like during the WCW days, like he was like very like drunk and taking like drugs and stuff. It's very very sad. Like like if you don't like, I would suggest like if you can find like videos of like him like in the disasters, like disastrous times. It's just very sad, and like even his like friends were like saying about it. So like a dark place. Like he was just one of those it was I think he talks about how like Shawn Michaels when he got inducted and like he wasn't there, and during that time like he was actually like self-aware. Like before he wasn't self-aware of his problems, his drug problems, and it kept getting like worse and worse. And like it was just like one time, like he was like in the ring, like he made an appearance. I don't know, I forget like where it was, but like it was just it did not look good. And like that was like after that, when that had happened, that was like the turning point, because like it was like he wanted to commit suicide on himself, and like he wanted to end it all like with a gun and whatever. Like he needed help, and thank God like he actually got help from like DDP with DDP Yoga, and what he done with Jake the Snake Roberts. That's a whole nother story. And like it was guys like him that helped him, legit like rehabilitate his life. And now you don't really hear problems out of him anymore. Like fighting on a daily basis. It was just like, he was going like coming in and out of rehab and all this other stuff. Just what I need. I already like talked about like earlier. One place to go. Back to WWE. And I think like Triple H even like said, like, we get it, like he's clean now, but after a year, if he's clean for a whole year, or even like longer, he'll put you in the Hall of Fame. Man, he certainly got put in the Hall of Fame. Bad times don't last always. um One of the thing, I think like he accidentally like killed somebody. It's just like very like crazy. It was like at a club in Florida, and like he always got haunted by that place. Like, it took him like so long to actually have peace with himself from going from and then back in family, the WB family. And like throughout this documentary, he was talking to the NXT superstars, like what he had went through during that time. Talks about like the money and like all the stuff that he was like, doing and giving them wrestlers advice and stuff. So overall, this one, uh, it was amazing documentary, but it's very very sad. Like it's just very like sad how his like life was, or like how his life was anyway. Then you got this too. As you can see, like the debut vignettes, from the days of like Razor Ramon. From You can find these clips like online. From the Gutter, El Jeff, Chicas are for fun. Chicas means girls. Taking What You Want, cleaning the table. This is actually a funny scene. Beach Bully, Making a Wish, Forget the Past, Razor Ramon outtakes, very very funny. Stories just as big as the wrestlers. He was very like tall and like big. The Oz mask. Oz in WCW was Kevin Nash. Scott Raymond, that didn't make no sense, but it was kind of funny. Let Them Be Kids. Don't ever leapfrog again. Man, that's fun. The Weekend in ECW. Wake Up Call. WrestleMania 31 talks about him during that weekend, and the match with Sting and Triple H. Like the NWO came in running, and DX, and that was very like classic. All right, enough for now. Let's get into this 2 and this 3 with the matches. All right, match number 1, Mid Atlantic Championship Wrestling, December 25th. 1984, American Starship versus Inferno number 1 and Inferno number 2. Well, it's all right. They won. ESPN Championship Wrestling, November 1985, Scott Hall versus Michael P.S. Hayes. This was a good match, though, too. I'm very underrated. On this anyway, very underrated. ESPN Championship Wrestling, November 28, 1985, $100,000 battle royal. So it's just a normal battle royal. All the competitors are in. Last man standing wins. Scott Hall won. ESPN Championship Wrestling, December 20th, 1985. In this corner with Scott Hall. Basically, it was just an interview. Talking with Larry Sabisco, like he was like talking him like down, like hey, like had like a big ego, and like Scott Hall was just was calm, cool, and collected until like he got like angry at Larry Sabisco. Wrestle Rock, April 20, 1986, AWA Tag Team Championship match. Scott Hall and Kurt Hennig versus the Long Riders. It's a good match. They had great chemistry with each other. Clash of Champions. I believe that is 25. No, not 25. 15. Because X is 10, V is 5, so I'm assuming that's 15. Yep, it has to be 15. June 14, 1991, the Diamond Stud. That's what he was named at WCW versus Tommy Rich. Who cares? I'm sorry to say that, but like, it's whatever, World Championship Wrestling, December 7, 1991. The Diamond Exchange versus Brian Lee and Chris Sullivan. It's all right match. Superstars. I don't think this is where Razor Ramon debuted. I might be wrong about that, but if it is, correct me in the comments section down below. It's all right match. Outsider's Edge for the win. He had that move like years before like he went to WCW, and like during like the old days he had the Outsider's Edge or the Razor's Edge or whatever. Like that's the move. That was a very iconic move. Royal Rumble, January 24th, 1993. Excuse me. WWE Championship match. Bret the Hitman Hart versus Razor Ramon. This is an excellent match. Besides the one we'll get to later, one of the best matches on this disc and DVD. Man, really good match. Man, back and forth, great match. I would suggest you go back and watch it because it's amazing. Raw, May 17th, 1993, Razor Ramon versus The Kid. This has to be one of the most iconic Monday Night Raw moments in history. Great back and forth, not even like great competitive match until the iconic roll-up leverage pin. And that made The Kid, like Razor Ramon was so good at like putting others over and also putting himself over. So like The Kid was a star made that night. Signaha, Milwaukee, September 1st, 1993, Intercontinental Championship match, Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon. I believe this match ended in a no contest, but Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon always had great chemistry with each other. Raw, October 11, 1993, Intercontinental Championship match, Razor Ramon versus Rick the Model Martel. It's a decent match, nothing special. Moving on. WrestleMania 10, March 20th, 1994, ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship, Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels. This is not only my favorite match on this DVD, but I can go back and watch I talked about this match multiple times in other DVDs that I have in my collection. And man, it's a great match. It's one of those matches you can watch over and over again and you will still enjoy the match for what it was. It's a great match. Highly recommended to watch it if you never watch. If you are a wrestling fan, a new wrestling fan, I would suggest you watch this match right here. One of the best singles ladder matches in WWE history. Probably even in wrestling history at that. Disc 3, SummerSlam, August 29, 1994, Intercontinental Championship match. Razor Ramon with Walter Payton versus Diesel with Shawn Michaels. I believe Diesel was Intercontinental Champion, and after WrestleMania 10, Diesel beat Razor Ramon, and then Razor got it back at SummerSlam. I believe that's what the story was. Overall, it was a good, decent match. Razor and Diesel didn't really have their main matches against each other. Most of the time, they was tag teaming. I mean, they didn't really tag team in WWE, but mostly in WCW. And, both in the early 90s and in the late 90s and 96. Royal Rumble, January 22nd, 1995, Intercontinental Championship match. Razor Ramon versus Jeff Jarrett. Good match. Jeff Jarrett is a really, really good worker. He might be annoying to some wrestling fans, but he's a really, really good worker. Obviously, the Razor Ramon, I guess he got counted out, or it was just called. The match was called off, but Jeff Jarrett forced the referee's hand to restart the match, and he won the Intercontinental Championship back. He won the Intercontinental Championship. Royal Rumble the following year, January 21st, 1996, Intercontinental Championship match, Razor Ramon versus Goldust. Yo, this match was so weird to watch. It was so crazy. But it fits Goldust's character. It's just, man, this was so weird. But it's good. A good match for what it was. But man, it was just weird to watch. Hog Wild, August 10th, 1996, The Outsiders versus Sting and Lex Luger. Good tag team match. The NWO just started. I don't know why they call them the Outsiders, but especially after but they were called the Outsiders when they came into WCW. So, good, decent match. Sting held his own, but the Outsiders won. Halloween Havoc, October 27, 1996, WCW Tag Team Championship match. Outsiders versus Harlem Heat. Good match. A lot of this 3 has the best matches, but sometimes it always happens, sometimes it doesn't. Good match overall. Obviously the Outsiders had to get belts at some point. This was their first championship, and it's crazy because they came into WCW, I believe, around. It was either probably around May or June, probably, and May and June, or April around May or whatever. And they got the championships here. Scott Hall versus Scott Sky. Tongue-tied. Nitro, October 20th, 1997. Scott Hall versus Scott Steiner. Good match. This was Scott Steiner, obviously, before he turned against NWO, but good match. Decent wrestling match. Nitro, November 3rd, 1997. Scott Hall versus Chris Jericho. They tried to recreate the 1, 2, 3 Kid, and it worked. And then he got beat up by the NWO. That's all I'm going to say. Uncensored, March 15, 1998, WCW World Heavyweight Championship match, Scott Hall versus Sting, and Dusty Rhodes, God rest his soul, was in his corner, Scott Hall's corner. Good match. It was a good match. I'm not gonna lie. It was a really, really good match. Nitro, November 22nd, 1998. The Outsiders versus Goldberg and Sid Vicious. Two guys who didn't get along with each other and probably were feuding during that time. And obviously, then the Outsiders obviously lost this match. Scott Hall, okay, SmackDown, March 7, 2002, Scott Hall versus The Rock. This literally wasn't even a match, like, at all. And I'm not even joking when I say this, because this match was like, what, not even like 5 minutes, and then the NWO ran in and Stone Cold saved the saved The Rock at the end of the day. WrestleMania 18, March 17th, 2002, Scott Hall versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was an alright match. Nothing, nothing bad. It should have been Hogan versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, but everybody knows that, though. Everybody knows that. So, for what it was, again, Stone Cold wasn't in a good place. Scott Hall definitely was not in a good place. He was definitely not in a good place. Especially like later on in WCW, had it really and when he became he got fired, I believe, not right after WrestleMania, but a couple of weeks after he got fired, and that's how he ended up in TNA in 2002, and whatever. But overall, this is I like this DVD. I recommend it. You buy it, and obviously you can check these matches on the WWE Network. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoy this review. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. More videos will be coming soon. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.